What's happening? It's Joe and Mike, buildassetsonline.com. We're doing some live niche research today. I'm always curious to come up with some new product ideas because you really got to go out and scour. Why does it do this thumbs up thing? I don't get it. It just thinks I'm like radical. But yeah, we got to go scour the internet for new product ideas to drop ship, and we're just giving them out to you for free. So hope you guys enjoy this one.
Yeah, people always have questions about this. This is like the nonstop, never goes away. What's a good niche? How do I have a good dropshipping niche? And we've never had a failed niche, Joe.
No. Well, I guess we got to talk. It depends how we define niche, which we've talked about ad nauseum.
Of course, we have. It depends. I mean, and that's what we're going to look at today, and that's what will be revealed to the public. But before we get started, I do want to say for the month of April, we're only going to be opening 5 spots for our coaching program. So instead of just seeing this in theory here, if you want to actually get into practice and see how to build a 6-figure dropshipping store, just like we've done many times, many of our students have done, a store you could actually sell for 6 figures, you got to go to buildassetsonline.com/enroll. So again, only 5 people will be accepted this month. After the 5 people are accepted, I'm literally canceling the rest of the calls. I'm shutting it down, and that's it. We'll be shut down until we reopen again. So that's the only announcement I'll make. Go to buildassetsonline.com/enrolled. 5 spots only. So yeah, Joe, whenever you're ready, I guess we can kind of share your screen and we can.
Yeah, let's do it. I'll share the screen here. Feels like no one is watching, but it's all good.
We had people waiting in here. I think it's just how it is in the beginning, but I'm sure they'll all come in at the end.
All right. I don't know. I just figured we would start here. I don't know why, but I just typed in gaming chair because I am in the market for a new chair, but I can't figure out what I want here. So, but
because of a gaming chair. I mean, yeah, I could tell it's squeaky, Joe. You're squeaking around like a mofo.
And I've kind of worn down the foam padding here, so it's time for a new one.
Well, I guess so. This is the starting point, and people are always going to come up with these absolute shit starting points, like, "Oh, I want to sell gaming chairs." Like, okay, you can, but you have to build it as part of a bigger store that's going to be like the Parthenon. Many pillars for your store to stand on. So that way, if gaming chairs are truly shit, then it doesn't matter if that one has to come down. So I think really what we want to have a better look at is we can look through who the sellers are here, and we can maybe find a store that may be selling more than just gaming chairs. I mean, even this first one here, Network Hardwares. What is that? What are they selling, Joe?
Yeah, I'm looking at some of these store names, and I'm intrigued. This was one of them. I'm intrigued to click it. Autofull Official, Mavi Gadget. I don't know.
It sounds like a random.
Yeah, this sounds.
Chinese,
yeah, it does. But I am curious just to kind of see Vitesse Home. It's always good to dive into these names that you're unfamiliar with because I feel like that's where some of the unique ideas are going to stick out. So you want to just get right to it.
Okay, here we go. Already, this is super easy. Network Hardwares. What are they? Switches and bridges? Is that like some audio type thing?
Yeah, it seems like some sort of audio, electronic, all that thing. But
an enterprise switch. See, I don't even know what this is. This is getting into IT type thing. Can you scroll down a little bit? See, now we're already getting somewhere because the gaming chairs, yes, you can sell them, but maybe it's a good idea to make it part of a bigger store that's kind of like this is taking more of like an IT office focus from what I'm seeing already.
Yeah, honestly, this is sticking out to me because I've never seen a store like this. we clicked here from gaming chairs. I didn't expect it to have these routers. And also, what's really sticking out to me is that some of these brands I'm familiar with because they're everywhere, like Netgear and Linksys, but like this one, Extreme Networks, like I've never seen this. And so I feel like just possibly by the brand name, big emphasis on possibly, and just by what it is, like this isn't something where you can just stroll into like Best Buy and buy it, So I feel like that's the mentality that's good to have is, yeah, it's, you might look at this as like too basic of a product, and maybe it is, but no one's like going into Best Buy and getting this kind of router. They might go in and get a home router or whatever, like these, like this Netgear one or this basic Linksys one, but I feel like they're not getting one like this. So I feel like upon seeing this, my first thing would be to reverse engineer this and see if anyone else is selling this. And
before we do that, yeah, one thing I want to address is people always like, oh, dropshipping electronics, all that. And you kind of turned it into a great point. The real way to think about it is, can you buy this product at Best Buy? I can go into Best Buy, I can buy a Samsung refrigerator, I can buy, a pair of headphones, I can buy a whole bunch of stupid stuff like that. But these kind of more niche market, I guess, what is this, a router, Ethernet switch? This is something people have to shop online for. So it doesn't matter that it's electronic. It's kind of just a smaller, more niche brand. And because of that, it's okay.
Yeah. It's at least okay to look into, try to reach out,
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. It's fine to reach out when your store has many legs for you to stand on, and especially when we conceptualize it like that. And right now we're in the conceptual phase. So before we start back engineer the Extreme Networks, you can note it down. But
conceptual concept. I feel like, should we define this real quick?
Conceptual concept.
IT store. I feel like, because we've talked about Office and all of that, and this could be housed under Office, but I kind of want to see where we can get with this IT thing.
Because I think that this store has a lot more to offer here. So I don't think we should leave the store just yet. So leave Extreme Networks open, but go back. And I want to go to the breadcrumb. So you can see the breadcrumb of the store here has switches and bridges, network and communication, information technology. So yeah, so what does it classify as network and communication? So product type, we can see on the left-hand side here. So it's got, go down. You see that product type? It's got all these different product types just within this one type of categorization. So it's got transition networks. Hit view more. Switch boxes.
Oh, wow. So, what is this? Like, I never even...
So the sound series says, this is what we've all been waiting for. That's good. Sebastian said the audio is good. Justin said, I had a networking store for a minute, Cisco, etc. Hard brands to close. Yeah, so Cisco is what we're saying is kind of, that's a huge publicly traded company that it's going to be a bit different than like some of these random ass sort of IT products. He said, not impossible, but I shut it down before getting too deep. And I think that's the thing. Like if you go deep, you're bound to be able to get in with some of these different product types, some of these different brands. And then once you're in, then it'll become easier to close the rest down the road. But even kind of, if we want to steer away from this specific stuff, like Joe, if we go up more to the top, they have like digital signage displays, right? So like this is not necessarily like, what is this?
So it's almost like a TV type situation that displays signage.
Okay, I'm thinking more like, I was thinking like of a billboard or like an actual real sign. So
like you could probably put like a menu on here.
Yeah.
But I mean, honestly, it just seems like a regular monitor. That
Yeah,
so
I don't see a word for it.
I'm not too hot on these.
Me neither. But so then also the other main category it has is UPS projectors. I mean, projectors is a common one. I mean, we've seen people sell projectors. What is a UPS?
I have no idea. What is a UPS? In uninterruptible power supply. I see. So it's like surge protection for and battery backup. Like I guess if you have a piece of equipment that can't go out, you know.
Yeah. So kind of where I'm trying to go with this is like it has all this stuff, but then it has like gaming chairs. So like I'm trying to find some of the other non-electronic things that the store has.
There we go. Look at that.
Good inspiration.
Well, yeah. Let's gaming, and be like, yeah. It's all under here.
Desks. I mean, it has health and sports, home and outdoors. Like, what is that? Office solutions. So just within this one store, I guarantee there's enough for somebody to actually get suppliers from, start up their own similar store, and be off to the races from there.
Yeah.
Printer ribbons? What is that? That's like
just like the paper that it prints on. I'm echoing, by the way. I don't know if the viewers can hear that. Yeah, I think that's a little better. Yeah, this is just like the printer paper for receipts and stuff.
Gotcha. Well, all right. So we can move on from the site, but there's so many things on here that, again, it 100% you could start a store, get some of these suppliers because this store probably has.
Well, Mike, let's move on. But I feel like we could use this to find the next site that we're going to look at.
Yep. IT devices online. IT bargain center.
Damn.
We don't have to click that, but
we should click it. I feel like we should see. Like, obviously, we're not going to click Newegg. That's a pretty
hard disk direct. All right, so
let's see what this goes to. See, this is interesting. Like the RFID readers. Like, they're pretty expensive, honestly. Advertised price too. I feel like that tells you that there's some map here involved.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think a lot of these brands like Netgear and Lenovo, ViewSonic, like you're probably not going to get in with these. But again, I do feel like, especially as we start to look at some of these other more obscure things, like the servers and stuff, this site is pretty empty. But this is HPE. Yeah.
Right. So if I was going to do an IT store, we have kind of 4 squares we want to hit. Right. Is it simple? Is it complex? Is it big? Is it small? So there's 4 possible combinations of there. There's 4 possible combinations there. So you could have simple and big, simple and small, complex and big, complex and small. If you make sure that you have products in your store that fulfill all these different categories, it becomes very, very difficult for you to fail because you're getting into different industries, for sure, different suppliers, different logistics situations, different support situations. You basically cover all your bases, and then from there you can decide what's worth it, what's not.
Yeah.
There's no etc. because that's the only possible
set
of combinations. So like the gaming chair would be an example of something that I'd call big and simple, because it's just a big piece of foam, whatever. Or maybe it's small if it's packaged small and it ships UPS, maybe. But like, the desks, like that would be getting into type of big, simple, and then like big and complex, can be just like industrial type printer cutter or stuff like that. And then the small, you have, the Ethernet switches and all of that. Yeah, big simple, put conference tables or something.
Yeah, so you could see, I mean, this definitely crosses over with angles that we've talked about before. So there's not just one way to go about this. And honestly, I like this like I feel like the IT and the office have some sort of crossover, and I feel like you could definitely have a store which goes into both.
I mean, go back to this store and go to like the mega menu thing we were just looking at. Yeah. Go to home and outdoors. Or sorry, go like watering and irrigation. Like, why does he have that shit? Kitchen and dining. I think this is a dropshipping store.
You think? I think you might be right. I think, well, I feel like, I mean, if you look at this stuff, like, no, I don't know if it might be. All right, so let me say something real quick. There are drop shippers out there, because we've had discussions with them. They haven't taken any course online, but they just, for example, we talked with this guy who ran a pretty big drop shipping operation, and he had like a customer service center in the US with like 10 or 12 employees, and he just had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of suppliers. Mm-hmm. And they probably did use that place to like take returns, and probably used it for some sort of order stuff, but nonetheless it was like a drop shipping primarily operation. So you're right, it wouldn't surprise me if this is a drop shipping store, but this is definitely like they're operating on a higher level than someone is going to be operating when they first start. And I'm just talking about like the site layout and the organization. Like, it's all pretty well done. And I feel like they have, this stuff is kind of just part of the massive catalog selection that they have, in my opinion.
Yeah, just like how many random categories they have. Number one, they have to be drop shipping. You can't be taking all these things into your warehouse. It just doesn't make sense. So there's definitely a drop shipping component, and if there is, then that means that you can drop ship it too.
Yeah. So
dining and like all this other stupid stuff.
Because if you think about it, I mean, we know that Wayfair, there's drop shipping on Wayfair. We know there's drop shipping on Amazon. So if you look at another store, but they're not, obviously those two are not, they're not always drop shipping. Like, there's stuff that they, a lot of stuff that they don't drop ship. There's a lot of stuff that they do, but you could see with this, it's probably the same situation. There's a lot of stuff they are drop shipping, and there's probably some stuff that they're not. So we don't know what it is looking at it, but there's only one way to find out, which is to, I would say reverse engineer.
Yeah. Well, if you click on one of these products, maybe, oops. I feel like they might have some verbiage on the product page that would be like, see, this one is in stock, ready to be shipped. I don't think they all had that. So like, if you go back, maybe you can just TV stands.
Well, let's look at some of the peripherals. Like, I feel like, oh no, not the peripherals. I was meaning like it's thinking like a monitor arm, but I don't know what that would be under. Let's look at TV stands. I feel like they do say in stock, ready to be shipped. But you never know. I mean, you never know what that means. I feel like they might have some, they're obviously dealing with, I don't know. They have internship opportunities, where we ship. Let's look at this.
That's bullshit. We could put internship opportunities on our site too.
That's true.
Maybe we should. I think we've seen people do that. Like people talk about that in different groups we've been in over the years.
Mm.
I mean, we've had interns.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, go back. All special orders are delivered to our warehouse. So they do have a warehouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just can't believe that they'd be bringing in everything into their own warehouse if it's already available. See, like these things don't have. Oh, no, they do have the in stock. Whatever. We can move on from this, but
yeah,
and these types of products also probably have pretty good data feeds in terms of inventory.
Yeah, that's the other thing I was thinking too.
Yeah. Anyway, we can move on. Let me get to this question right here. 3 months ago, you had Jesper Neeson as a guest, and he talked about his method for SEO. Are his methods still viable after important Google update from beginning of March?
I would say for local SEO, it's working really well still and should continue to. So I can go into a lot of depth on the Google update, but I mean, basically, it seems like it was a direct attack on people that are, owning blog sites, niche sites, things like that. So if you have a site that has brand demand search, an e-commerce site, especially the stuff, well, it depends how competitive it is, obviously, but yeah, I would say for local SEO, it's really good. And for, I have had success with it with e-commerce. I'm not going to lie, but it's still, if it's something that's hyper competitive, it's not as good, but for local, it'll just kind of works really well. But you could still use it, but it's not, first of all, you're not going to use it on a blog site because a blog site is probably not going to work anyway. So as long as
the method still works, the cloud stacking stuff still works. It's just, what are you applying it to that's going to be a difference maker?
Exactly.
Little Health said, how strict is the return policy in the US? I mean, on a basic level, what are we required to offer? In my country, Europe, it is very strict, and they will just send us info that they want to return the product within 14 days. And then we have to take a product from them, even when they will be very late with sending it to us. The product is dirty, used, etc. So in Land of Freedom, we don't have like government mandates the return policies.
Not yet.
Plenty of things are non-returnable. So you can just mimic what the supplier gives you.
We ain't got no return policies.
Yeah, sometimes you go to like those local stores and they're like, everything is non-refundable. But yeah, so we can move on and create a different store concept.
You know what's funny? I feel like I didn't know that about Europe, and I wonder if so there is kind of what I would call a return culture here. Like there's a very small percentage of people that really try to abuse returning things. Like Mom was telling us about someone that really got banned from Home Depot.
Oh yes.
So
yes.
I do feel like there is people that really try to take advantage of, especially like over friendly corporate return policies and people returning couches to Costco like 4 years later and things like that. So I wonder in Europe with these laws, like is that a thing that people do?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Costco is probably the most famous one in terms of how lax their return policy is. Because they'll really take back anything. But Costco is such a strong American business that they can just deal with it.
Well, I feel like our parents returned their coffee maker to Costco like once a year.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, Costco makes so much money off of their members. Number one, you're paying that monthly, a yearly membership policy. Every time I go to Costco, I don't know. I'm like, I gotta get one thing. It's $100 minimum.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Like there was one time I literally I only bought one thing, and it was like $30 or something. I was
Yeah.
like, this is it. Like I'm finally gonna have a cheap Costco bill. I scan the thing. It's like your membership is due. $80.
Oh shit. Oh shit. You know what Costco's getting into now? They're starting to sell gold bars. I think they sold out like instantly.
Why?
I don't know. Like, but you could see, I could definitely see that packaging at Costco.
I don't know if they're gonna sell this in the store.
No, they do.
A gold bar?
Yeah.
Come on, man. That would get looted.
I don't know. It's probably like locked behind something.
Yeah, that item is non-refundable. That one is. I was gonna say you can buy it and then kind of put some pyrite back in the.
Or I was gonna say you buy it and then the price goes down and you're like, I don't want this.
Hey, that's good too. All right, let's come up with another idea here.
All right, gold bars. All right.
What about like a gold something like a really rich person would type in like gold furniture or something.
Could you do a whole store about gold?
I feel like it's dumb.
Yeah, it is a dumb angle, but I don't know. Could
the invisible collection.
This is interesting. Sunwear furniture.
Yeah, click it.
This is a dropshipping store.
Sure.
Not. I would say it's got some room for improvement for sure, but
yeah,
I am curious if they're. Well, there's no way this whole thing is gold. First of all,
I mean clearly that's
because
worth more than an African country.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the idea of an entry table is So Justin just asked an interesting question. What about baby strollers, car seats, etc.? This is the one thing that we would say to like literally not do it.
Yeah.
It's just not. It's not that you can't do it. I mean, we've had people sell baby stuff. Not in our program because we would tell them not to. But like I've seen people actually make sales with baby furniture. It's just a bad niche to be in because it's going to be really. I don't know what's the word, Joe.
People are going to ask a lot of questions, and like also, I really feel like it's one of those things where it's people's kids. So, I mean, and like also think of like a car seat and a stroller. Like, I feel like you want to know, like, is it going to fit in my car? Like, there's just so many things like that, and so many like compatibility things that, yeah,
it's not a consumer you want to be dealing with, and like you don't want to be at the end of an issue if an issue was to happen.
Yeah,
so it's just not worth getting into it. There's a million other things you can do. Where if something breaks, people aren't really gonna care as much.
Oh, this is straight out of China. Apparently.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not a dropshipping store. Interesting.
I mean, if you're sending it to America, it is.
I mean, I guess. Yeah.
This is making more sense. This is like some.
Well, anyway, this is
rich guy's apartment in Shanghai type vibe. Throne Kingdom. Wait, Go.
Oh shit.
You could show this to your friend Frank.
Yeah.
He loves Game of Thrones. So
This
what do they
is
have here?
this is cool. Is it branded? Leandra. Must be, right?
And
Maybe it's their brand. I don't know.
yeah, I think this is like this could also be a dropshipping type thing. Oh, wait.
What?
Go down. Photo Booth International. Go up. See, now we're getting somewhere. You could take, instead of having a regular furniture store, you could have like a set or even like a photo booth type angle.
Yeah, that's an interesting angle.
Throne chairs.
So the customer here would be photo booth business owners,
People putting on events.
or like photography studios or something. I feel like
Yeah, I
that's
guess any place that's like putting on a set.
yeah. We kind of talked about this before, but like set.
We had like
design.
we had like green rooms. I think we were talking about that.
Yeah, but I feel like this. Yeah,
Because they're also selling photo booths, right?
yeah. Well,
Which
yeah.
I don't know if that's like
selling backdrops. They're selling
and they're selling their own little courses here too.
Facebook ads.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
Right. So they've taken the photo booth business owner and they've designed a store for them. So they're selling backdrops, they're selling photo booths, they're selling prop furniture.
Could you do this with something like pressure washers, you think? Like you sell the pressure washer equipment, and then I guess you'd have to come up with everything a pressure washer business owner would need.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think you could do that. But before we get too deep into that, yeah, I just Googled prop furniture. And that's a whole different market. Event decor direct. I got different results than you. I searched the same thing though.
Event decor direct.
Yeah. There you go.
I won't click their ads.
Let's click the text ad.
Oh, was that the text? No. Interesting. So, I mean, I don't think everything here is dropship. They probably do have this stuff like warehouse and stuff, but well, actually, I mean, who knows? But look, no return policy. It's custom made. But yeah, I mean, I still do feel like there are plenty of items you could drop ship with this type of customer avatar.
Yeah, just the idea of even prop furniture. I mean, there has to be suppliers out there that would sell this stuff to you. And this could even be one of the things where
Yeah,
it's
like-
like there's not going to be a lot of brand demand.
If you're like decorating a podcast studio or something like this, I guess that's
Yeah.
or like house staging.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like house staging has a very specific feel to it. Like it's got to be neutral
Mhm.
and all that.
Yeah, and I think with this, you can take advantage of the fact that people aren't going to give a shit about the brand.
Yeah, that's true.
So
That's true.
prop couch, like, oh, I don't need it to be a friggin', I don't know, furniture brand.
Yeah. Hey, I want to look something up real quick. I'm just going to look in another tab. So what's his face? Who mentioned the Jesper Nissen thing?
Quarter deals.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna give you guys the farm right now. This is how you dominate Google now. You just give me a second.
I'll read a question. Ketamine, I have a supplier that has a few hundred high-ticket products and a few niches in my country. I can open 2 or 3 stores with their products. Unfortunately, profit margin is just about 17%. Returns are negotiated. That means that they can but don't have to accept it. Do you think it's worth investing in this kind of supplier? I'm pretty disappointed with the profit margins, but on the other hand, it can give me something, maybe even open 2 stores. It's not in the US, so high-ticket dropshipping is not so popular here. Less suppliers, and profit margins are lower in general. So, number one, what country are you in? Number two, you're getting 17%. Is that after shipping? Is that before shipping? And number three, you can make your return policy the lowest common denominator of their situation. So you can just say flat out, this stuff isn't returnable and run it that way. Or you can say it's returnable, but it has to be brand new. Like, that's pretty simple. So either way, I would get started with it. Like 17%, yeah, it's not the best, but it's not the absolute worst. Even if you're paying 5% of that to shipping, if they have plenty of products you can get started with, then just get started with them and see how it goes. It might not be as bad as you think in terms of how much their shipping cost is. Their return policy might not be as bad as you think it is. Like you're stuck conceptualizing this and like trying to find the answer conceptually, and you'll only find the answer by just actually seeing, number one, if they sell well, if the supplier is actually a pain in the ass to deal with, or if they're good. And if you can sell a bunch of their stuff and it's not a huge pain in the ass, then it doesn't matter if your take home margin is 10%. You'll still do well with that. What we got, Joe?
So this keyword is looking at keywords everywhere, has about 1,000 search volume. So, and to be honest, we have a student. Oh, sorry, this one, yeah, has about 1,000. We have a student doing something very similar to this. He owns like he before he came to us, he has like a couple brick and mortar business, and he was basically it's in the. Can I say what it is? I guess I don't think it's going to give away that much to say what niche it's in, Mike.
I think you could say it like at a high level.
Yeah, so he's in like the jewelry niche, and so basically, I mean, I had to make a domain. I don't think he's even put much effort into it, but you know, when you're about like a specific angle and you make the domain name about that angle and you go after a keyword, obviously it can't be something too crazy like furniture.com. But you niche down, you're at housestagingfurniture.com, you're an e-commerce store for this, you have built-in branded search. You know, I gotta be maybe I'll open the kimono a little bit more, Mike, since he asked this Google question. People are talking about our websites and in the blogosphere.
Oh.
People are talking about our websites because some of them have grown in the recent updates. Not all of them, but the ones that have, I'll tell you what, it leverages this concept of this branded search demand. And this is something you can build into your website when you go for one of these EMDs, and you build the EMD. It's all built around this concept, built around this keyword. Google understands it. Google loves it. You're buying traffic from them. That's how you win. Then you throw the cloud stacks at it to reinforce the entity, reinforce all the things the site is about, the engrams, all that kind of whatever, that BS, and you're good. You're good.
Yeah. So
this is too far into the weeds, but
it is far into the weeds, but this could be something. Yeah, if you have a prop furniture supplier, this can be something that you throw up. You don't even have to necessarily like run a whole lot of ads to it. It can just be a side project for you. And yeah, I mean, something like this, if you know house staging furniture, like you validated it in terms of, all right, I can make sales with this. Like, this is a good thing to put my energy into, because you don't want to put your energy and like go really deep into something that could wind up being really shit. So we talked about in the beginning, like we've never had a failed store. Like doing stuff like this is a way to fail, because if house staging furniture just doesn't work out, then you have to basically restart. So like, on the other hand, though, if you are confident that house staging furniture can work, then this is a really good investment to make, because it can really, you're building a lot of authority. You can take advantage of that, organic traffic. Like Joe said, 1,000 people a month already search house staging furniture. Google's going to perceive your website as like the brand that they're looking for, and yeah, it can be a good play.
Yeah, definitely.
That's not how we would advise a beginner to go about things, but that is how we would advise.
No, but I will tell you something else too. So you can not I wouldn't necessarily do this, but you could probably combine this. You can combine our methods with the other, I would say, drop shipping methods that we wouldn't advise. Of course, I would still try to stay within the US, like don't drop ship directly from China or something. But you could probably go on places like S Pocket, use that BS Shopify supplier directory, and just find stuff that fits within here. Obviously, side by side, calling the actual suppliers. But I'm saying that if you fill out a store around this concept and you start to rank organically for stuff, and you run some ads, and I feel like you'd be honestly, I don't want to get too deep in the weeds here. I don't know if people like this kind of speculation type stuff, but it's all grounded in good it's grounded in good information. So I feel like a store like this would do really good with Performance Max over time, because it's going to figure out the exact customer avatar probably over the course of like 3 to 6 months.
What was the one that we just looked at that had 1,000 a month?
By the way, guys, this stuff on the stream is all fun, theoretical, good ideas. If you get our coaching program, we're gonna have you stick on a path that we want to get you results in the most straightforward way. We're not going to advise you on to do some of this stuff, but this is just food for thought.
Right. That's just one guy asked about the Jesper.
Yeah. This is something our more advanced students could possibly run with and test out.
Well, we have our advanced students doing this and it's working.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, we're doing this and
we're doing this and it's working. Yeah.
To different extents.
But, yeah. If you're just starting, or you're not actually like making a lot of money from high ticket drop shipping, you have to do it the way that we're talking about, because it's going to basically it's going to basically allow you to keep acquiring more suppliers, and you can make content around the suppliers. You can run ads to the suppliers, and you basically have this never ending pool of suppliers you can go after and put under your store. And that's what's going to allow you to not fail. If you keep track of your finances, you run ads conservatively, all the things that we preach, you want to do it kind of the four-legged way that we discussed.
Gotcha.
But what was the first one you put up, Joe? That first?
It was just
exact match.
Home furniture. Home staging furniture.
Home staging furniture.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, so where are we going? I kind of got sidetracked here, thanks to me. But we're looking at Throne Kingdom.
I mean, Joe, I'd say we can cut it off here because we got two.
Yeah, we could cut it off.
We got two solid stores down.
I like the what?
Close down the notepad.
I know, it was an accident. I like the IT angle. I really do. I feel like there could be some potential there. And I would say, it's something that if you persist that in multiple directions, I think the odds of failure are very low.
Right. That's what it's all about. The more angles you can go down, or more different like little product types, little niche product types you can go down, then it's hard to find something that doesn't work. And that's like a bit of a double negative there, but you'll find something that works is the better way to say it. So unless anybody has any more questions, we can cut it off. Talk about kimonos, Joe. I just got back from Japan. Things have still been running. We got a lot on the docket to talk about. So
Yeah, we gotta go back into our private conversation.
yeah. Listen, we've already given enough away in public.
Yeah.
So, all right, we'll cut it off. Like I said, we're only doing 5 spots this month for our coaching program. So we'll show you how to build a high-ticket dropshipping store that you can be profitable with and sell for 6 figures, just like we've done, just like many students have done. And listen, we guarantee your ads are going to be profitable, or we'll refund you the ad spend. So it's like you might as well, at least if you're going to start a store or you're looking to improve your store, you might as well do it because you want to do things the right way and be in a system that it makes it hard for you to fail. So once the 5 spots fill up, I'm just literally going to shut things down until we decide to open again. So buildassetsonline.com/enroll. You can apply there, see if we're a good fit. And any final words, Joe?
No, that's about it.
All right, Joe. See you in the next one. You can take it or leave it. But as always, take it easy.